In this video, I am going to explain you from 9th standard NCERT exercise 7.1 in that question number 4. So let us begin with the question. L and M are two parallel lines. So L and M are two parallel lines intersected by another pair of parallel lines. So the blue color parallel lines are intersected by another pair of parallel lines, that is P and Q. That's why I have color or I use different colors so that it becomes easy for you to understand. Now see, figure is also given. So show that triangle ABC. The triangle ABC, this triangle is congruent with triangle CDE. It means what? If you try to match ABC, if you cut the triangle ABC and ADC, so what happens? A and C will match. Understood? A and C will match. It means what? You should not fold like this. If you cut this triangle, AC is common here, and if you rotate this, C and A will exactly match, D and B will exactly match. So ABC corresponding parts you have to match with CDA and you have to show. Remember always when you are proving the two triangles to be congruent, write them according to their corresponding parts. Now given is what L and M are parallel. Okay, first we'll write the given things. L is parallel to M and P is parallel to P and Q is parallel. It is given, and here even it is, they have joined the point A and C. So you can see here the quadrilateral has been formed, or you can say this is what? Parallelogram, isn't it? Because these two are parallel, here AB and CD will be parallel, AD and BC will be parallel. And there are formation of two triangles due to joining of A and C. Now we have to prove triangle ABC is congruent with triangle CDA. Now there are four congruence criterions: SAS, SAS, AAS, or you can call it as SAS also. Sorry, ASA and RHS. Whenever we find any right angle triangle, we can check for RHS, but there is no right angle triangle, so we will not go for this. Now yes. We have to check whether we can prove the three sides of triangle ABC are equal with three sides of triangle CDA, or whether two sides and one angle is equal or two angles and one side is equal. But whenever it is given that parallel lines, remember the transversal properties, isn't it? And we know that intersection is nothing but the transversing, isn't it? So L and M, it is intersected by P and Q. So try to recall the angle properties of transversal and parallel lines. So our proof is near to that concept only. So now we'll start with the proof. So we know that given that L is parallel to M, isn't it? It is given, right? And for this, AC will act as a transversal, isn't it? AC, transversal, it doesn't mean that it should cross, but we should have the common point. This AC line segment, it will become transversal for L and M. See, only this part you have to see. Don't observe or don't focus on P and Q. LM and AC we want. So whenever there is a transversal, we know that alternate interior angles are equal, right? So here we can see this full angle. So these are what? Interior angles. These two are here alternate interior angles. So these angles are, you cannot say directly A because A is shared between so many angles. So you can say here angle DAC and angle BCA. Let us name this as 1 and I'll name this as 1. So that also we have to mention, because if you take full angle DAC, BCA, it will be confusion for you. So we'll take here, let angle DAC be angle 1 and angle BCA be angle 2. So instead of taking these two angle names, you can just take as angle 1 and 2. So as L and M are parallel and AC is transversal, so here angle 1, isn't it? Angle 1 and angle 2 are equal. Why? Because these are alternate interior angles. This is possible whenever there are two parallel lines and a transversal. Now we will see we have got one more pair of parallel lines, that is P and Q. Okay, so we have the parallel pairs, that is P and Q. Now I have to see like this. See, you can rotate this. These are the parallel lines and this is a transversal. Okay, so these are alternated interior angles, and always whenever alternated angles are equal. So I'll name this as angle 3 and this as angle 4. So we will prove here again, since P is parallel to Q and AC will act as is transversal, and we will name these angles also. So here you can see 3 and 4 we are named. Let us take here 3 and 4 we are named. So angle DCA, this DCA we will name as angle 3 and this 4. So angle 4 we will name as BAC as 4. So due to transversal AC to the parallel lines PQ, angle 3 and angle 4 are equal. So angle 3 equals to angle 4. Now we will come to our actual proof. We have to prove that triangle ABC and triangle CDA are congruent. So write those triangles and the parts of ABC write on ABC side and parts of CDA write on CDA side. Now we know that here we can see ABC in triangle ABC, 3 and triangle ABC in triangle CDA. You can see that 3 and 4 is equal, 1 and 2 is equal. So two angles are equal. So two angles are equal means try to find out the equal side. And obviously AC, see here also AC and here also AC we have. So this is a common side. So we can prove this by AS criterion. So let us start here. In triangle ABC, in triangle ABC, we will write first angles here. Here angle 4. In triangle ABC we have angle 2 and angle 4. Now try to find out which is equal to angle 2. So angle 1 is equal to angle 2, isn't it? In CDA angle 1 and in ABC angle 2 is equal. Now angle 4 and 3 are equal, so angle 4 equals to angle 3. Angle 3 is in triangle CDA. And now see here, in triangle ABC, AB is equals to, AC. AC is a common part here, see AC and here CA. So don't write AC equals to AC. You have to match the corresponding parts. It means vertices also you have to match. So here in this triangle, this vertex A will fall on C of another triangle. This vertex A will fall on C of triangle CDA. So A you have to replace with C and C of this triangle we have to replace with A. So this is by AAS, isn't it? Two angles and one side. So by AAS, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA.